morning time. It's morning time. And I'm hungry. Hey. Boy, what?
My name is Aaron Hamilton, I'm 9 years old.
My name is Nolan Hamilton, and I'm 9 years old.
My name is Preston Hamilton, and I'm 8 years old. And we are the Hamiltons 3. Woo. Daddy, we're better than you at doing the floss.
What is the floss?
It is after you brush your teeth.
I'm sure I can do it better than you. Oh, that?
I can't do it. Oh, geez.
Now what? Ah.
You're doing this.
You can't even do the one-arm floss.
Can't even do the height. Or
MC Hammer, boy. You don't know nothing about that.
Good afternoon. I am TANISHA LAVERNE Graham with BlackInAmerica.com. I am super excited and just honored to bring to the platform today multi-award winning, multi-Grammy nominated, multi-winning Grammy singer-songwriter Anthony Hamilton, who really needs no introduction. You know, Anthony has a brand new series that he's a part of on OWN called They Call Me Dad, alongside DJ D-Nice. And I can't think of who else is on there, but it's such a great show. Just showcasing, you know, the life of Black fathers, you know, raising their children, and it's much needed. These images are much needed in this time. So once again, Anthony Hamilton, thank you so much for taking time out to join me today. I'm super excited to have you. How are you, first of all? Like, how are you feeling? How are your spirit? You know, how are you?
An amazing day. Did some good things, gave back to people, and just, you know, the sun's shining and I'm up, I'm alive, I'm healthy. So I'm grateful, you know?
So you have this new show. I mean, there's so much that I want to talk to you about. I mean, your career spans decades at this point. You know, when I think back to hearing you, you know, come through the speaker of my little brownstone apartment in Harlem, you know, the first thing I thought was like, oh, wow, you know, this man he's going to be like the Bill Withers of our time. You know, he's going to be like, you know, the Mayfield of our time. And I was just so blown away. I'm like the Sam Cooke of our time, like all these legends kept popping into my mind. So I definitely want to talk about the music. I know you have some new stuff coming out. You have an album that's dropping. You're one of the many artists who are now moving into the independent space of ownership. You know, so I want to talk about all that. But first I want to talk about, you know, you getting tapped, you know, to do this show on Oprah Winfrey Network, you know, about Black parenting and more particularly Black fatherhood. You know, when you got tapped to do that, like what resonated with you and why did you decide to come on board? And, you know, more than anything, your children will now become public figures too. You know, so I was really interested in why, like, you made that executive decision to have your children, you know, exposed, yeah.
Well, when I got the call, you know, I thought about it. I kind of meditated on it, and, you know, I reached out, make sure their mother would be cool with it. And the producer who came to me, OG, who works with the OWN network, and Paige, when they brought it to my attention, they told me, you know, what it would be like. I didn't want them digging into like my old marriage and just bringing up stuff that wasn't positive. They were like, no, this is all about parenting. Great fathers, Black men who raised their children, and showing a different light, showing us in a different space. Healthy, grown Black men raising healthy, grown Black kids. And I was like, you know what? They're young now, and they're in a great place. I'm in a great place. The world
They are so beautiful, Anthony. They are so sweet.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
And I love that they're little boys. You know what I mean? Because in this day and age, it's very hard to swap the pathology of young men, of little boys, and just to see their pureness and how innocent they are. Unfortunately, that's not commonplace, you know, so it's beautiful to see that, actually. Beautiful to see that. So, you know, just job well done to you and their mom, because that's just a testament, you know, to the both of you.
Yes.
You know, to see their lights come out of both of them. It's pretty amazing. You know, so how are they handling?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, you go. Go ahead.
How have they handled the whole shooting process and like knowing that they're on television? Like, what has that been like for them?
Well, you know, they've grown up in it. Their mother is a singer also who sung backgrounds with me for 5 years, my ex-wife, and sang with Fantasia for 5 years. So they've been around entertainment all their lives. Being on TV, they've been caught here and there, video here and there.
Okay.
But they were excited about it. They were like, it comes on at such and such day, at such and such time. I was traveling at the time. It was my first time traveling since March 13th.
Oh,
so
wow.
I wasn't able to sit down and watch it with them, but I called them and they were getting ready to watch it. I was actually in the studio with Jermaine Dupri and doing some stuff, but they were very excited. They were like, wow, it was really, really nice, Dad. So TD Jakes' family was there, Kirk Franklin, D. Nice.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
And there was the football player guy, another brother who's an amazing father as well. I always keep forgetting his name, but please don't be mad at me.
Yeah, just
but amazing
don't
father.
charge his heart. Don't charge his heart.
Yeah, it's amazing father, and they showed us, you know, and it made an impact on people, and I think it brought a great light and a great sense of peace, knowing that there are great Black men out here. When the world is attacking us and trying to extinguish us, we are here representing what God put us here to represent, and we're not stopping.
It's so beautiful to see, you know, and what I love about it is when Black men, you know, are taking care of their children, you know, they take care of the women too.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, they take care of the women too. You know, all too often, you know, you hear these conversations, especially when marriages don't work out and relationships don't work out, and, you know, the father doesn't want to do what he's supposed to do, but that hurts the mother, you know, and if the mother is hurt, your children can't thrive.
Exactly.
You know, so it is such an amazing narrative, and I'm so glad that OWN, you know, stepped in to present the world with that, because it's so vital, it's so necessary at this time. You know, how are the children like holding up during COVID? You know, I knew school is back in session. You know, you have an 8-year-old and two twins that are 10, right? Yeah,
they'll be 10 in a few weeks.
Oh wow! So they're like in 5th grade. That's big. That's
fourth.
Fourth grade.
Yeah, 4th. Yeah, the birthday comes after. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hey, turn that down.
Uh-oh.
Sorry about that.
Daddy mode.
Turn it down. I'm on an interview. Turn it down. Now. Sorry about that.
It's okay. I get it.
Yeah, they know I was in here working. I told them before we started, don't start that.
Don't start it. Well, you know, that's inevitable.
Hey, it's cool, but, you know, I have to parent 24 hours a day. So, but you know, they're great kids and they're smart, and, you know, they sense what's going on, and COVID kind of put a damper on their summer. We were going to travel, go to the beach and do some things, but they're understanding. They know that we wouldn't do anything that, you know, to keep them from having a good time. We're here to try to save their lives, keep them healthy and protected. And with all the racial stuff that's going on, they know about that. I speak to them about it, that everybody that look like us, you know, we're not all loved and appreciated. Yeah. And people that don't look like us don't see how special we are, but we're going to continue to see how special we are in ourselves and in each other. And, you know, we just lead by example. And I let them know that they're young kings, and they're 3 older brothers, older kings, and who will come up to be great kings like Dad.
I love that. You know, Anthony, your music, wow, my God, it's it's an oasis of love and respect and kindness. You know, I listen to your music whenever I feel like, oh my God, you know, this whole relationship life situation, you know, it's difficult. It's a difficult landscape, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, I look to your music to remind me of the power and beauty of Black love. You know, why has that been such a mainstay, you know, a message in your music? You know, why have you leaned towards, you know, the Black love narrative? Do you feel like because we don't see enough of it or we don't hear enough of it? You know?
You know, I think it's a thing where I've had it. I've had Black love. I've experienced it. I've lost it. I've gained it again and lost it. And I've had it, held on to it. So I still believe in it. And I think when you believe in something, you fight for it. You fight for it, that space for it to exist, and the chance to have it again, and the you know, the opportunity to have a healthy Black love, and try to create that and put that energy out there. And so I put it in my music because that's the most powerful tool I have. My music, my writing, my lyrics. That's the power God gave me. So I want to create these images and these passionate songs and lyrics that will seep into people.
You have me and my girlfriends. Listen, you keep us as believers in Black love, because unfortunately, you know, me and my girlfriends, we sit around and we have these conversations that are sometimes all too painful when we talk about, you know, will we be able to have Black love? You know, we're all women, you know, in a very specific age group, you know, with a very specific professional experience. We call it existing and working in thin air spaces. Sometimes it's difficult dating, you know, and so we've had these conversations like, oh, you know, are we gonna have to date outside? Yeah, and I'm like, wait a minute, we got to play some Anthony Hamilton. We got to get some Sam Cooke. We got to get some Bill Withers. We got to play somebody to remind us.
Gotta keep that hope alive. Yeah.
We're trying, Anthony.
I get it. You know, on both sides. You know, dating now can be. You know, there's some amazing Black women. There's some professional, amazing Black women. But I think with the images that these big corporations put out there, they create these personalities in people, and it's always in the professions where there's lots of visibility and lots of people, and they promote these images and stereotypes, and people, you know, a lot of us don't have a lot. And so they've given us an opportunity. We can create our own. We should know that. But the opportunities that allow us to feed our family, sometimes you have to portray these roles that are degrading to ourselves, our women, our people, our heritage, our ancestors, and to our God. But when your stomach is growling and your bills and your lights and stuff are off, you play the image. And so people have taken on these personas that don't even really represent what they really feel. But you'll numb yourself long enough that you'll start to believe it, and you turn into these characters, and that's where we're hurting, because we're all trying to be successful, whether it be IG or Facebook, TikTok, or whatever we're trying to do. We all want to be accepted, and we all want to be famous for some reason now. I think social media has given everybody the hunger to be famous, and we forget about the morals, and we forget about what we really stand for and what we stand on. And so and then, you know, the music out there. Yeah, the music out there is just disrespectful to women. There's no passion. There's no romance. There's only quick sex, drugs, get high, met you, boom, we did this, bam, bam, and I'm on, and whatever with it. But a lot of these cats probably don't even really feel like that. Some of them are getting booed up and falling in love, but you're putting that image out there, so next generation picks it up and runs with it. And, you know, it's just a perpetual cycle that keeps us dumbed down and not being our best selves.
it's tough. It's tough because, men don't court anymore. We were talking about that, like men don't court. Like whatever happened to that? Whatever happened to a woman wanting to be courted?
Yeah.
You know?
It's the microwave syndrome. Oh, if it don't work out like I like it, push the button.
Yeah.
Free. If it don't get warm enough quick enough, then you throw it out. And I think that's a bad way. Because you may give for your forever lady, you may not give her enough time to even see that she's the one. I think, this pimp mentality of having all these women, and I'm guilty too. I've been a womanizer before. I've been in love. I've been a good man. I've been all of that. But you know when you have a great woman. You know when you have a good woman. You know when you have a woman who has potential, who's been scarred. And so you either gonna do the work and help her heal, because she has to want to heal as well. Yep. And heal yourself. So when you get to this good woman, you're some good. Yeah. I think a lot of times we're all hurt, and a lot of people are hurt, dealing with stuff from our past. Mama was on drugs, daddy was drinking, he was a wild, he wasn't around. So you start these cycles, but there are good images out there. We just have to, just admit what's wrong and what's right and what's messed up in us and start to do the work. We got to do the work.
Yeah. And unfortunately, when you're dating, sometimes you don't feel like that's a safe space, which is really unfortunate. Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah. And if the person that you're dating, if you can't feel safe, with the person that you see as a life partner, then my God, what is the foundation of the relationship? Like, what is the foundation of the relationship? I know, a part of my own personal story, my parents divorced, and when they divorced, I came to live with my father full time, me and my little sister, you know, and like, no shade to my mother. My mother is this beautiful, wonderful, magnificent woman, just beautiful from the inside out. But, I'm a daddy's girl. I adore my father, and so being a daddy's girl, I see men, I see them differently. I see you guys differently, and my girlfriends would laugh because it's like, oh my God, T is in and out, in and out. I'm like, it's not a matter of me being in and out. It's just like, I'm able to identify things right away,
and you don't waste time.
Father, and I'm just like, I know what it looks like when he's ready. I know what he looks like when he's really interested, because it doesn't take all day to recognize sunshine. Like the man that,
No, that's right.
Right, the man that wants to be with you, he's going to show up and he's going to do whatever it is that he can do to show you that he wants to be the person in your life. Yeah. And I mean, which is why, again, just getting back to your music, like your music speaks to that so much, which is why I think, part of the reason you've been so successful, for so long, you really speak, not necessarily just to the heart of men, but you speak to the heart of women. What is your writing process like? Because I think what a lot of people don't understand, and I say this to young people who want to do what I do as a journalist, it's like, being a creative is a lonely process. Being a creative is a lonely process. You got to get into the spirit, your spirit. You got to be able to do that work. So I'm really interested, like when you have a song that's like, taking shape in your spirit, taking shape in the gut of who you are, and that belly, trying to be birthed, like what is that process like? Like, what do you do to get ready to go into that writer space and to create, some of the most popular songs that are playing on loop right now? And I'm sure Anthony Hamilton is playing right now somewhere, in some here in the US, if not abroad too, because people listen to you worldwide.
Wow, I'm grateful. The process is different for many artists, but for me, I need the music that's going to speak to, because the music, it vibrates, and the music is powerful because it opens you up and it starts to tell a story that reminds you of your own life. And so you go from there. If the music feels like Charlene, it's gonna bring that story to me. If the music feels like her heart, I'm gonna remember that time when I broke my wife's heart, and I'm gonna remember that time when I wasn't my best me, and I'm gonna have to be honest in that space, because I haven't learned not to tell all my business in my music. And
But that's what, listen,
but that's been healing. It's healing.
Yeah.
It's healing in that, you know.
That's what art is. So Anthony,
Yeah.
that's
So,
what it means when you're tapped to be an artist. You're an oracle.
Yeah.
You're an oracle. That's
Yes,
it.
you are. Yeah.
That's it.
And you know, and I'm okay. I'm okay with it. You know, I'm not ashamed. I've cried on stage. I do all that stuff. But writing to me is a place where you can go, be vulnerable, be transparent, or you can be creative. There's some songs that are just creative songs that I just felt like creating this space or this party or whatever I wanted to create. Like Ever Seen Heaven. It's an old 80s feeling song from the last album, What I'm Feeling. And I wanted to go back to the 80s and to create a song that felt like the 80s. You know, back in the 80s when you know, your sleeves were slightly bigger and your hair, you know what I mean? You had,
Yeah.
you know, everything was like,
I definitely have big hair. I definitely have a whole lot of
not
hair.
so macho, you know, not so macho. Your shirt might have been open a little bit. So I wanted to create that whole feeling again and allow people to just feel the breeze of the 80s. And so that was from a real creative process, you know. And so I'm able to do it all, which is a blessing. So, you know, but the process definitely varies depending on the music, the mood, where you are in your life too, you know.
Yeah, that's big. That's big. You know, I want to talk about.
You better wear that green. I'll tell you that.
Well, listen, honey, don't get me started. Don't get me started. You know, I'm a little bit of a ham, Anthony.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Definitely, we definitely appreciate hams. And you definitely a beautiful woman.
Y'all better warn this brother. He in the lion's den. He put his toe in the lion's den. Put his toe in the lion's den. Oh, Lord have mercy. You are too much. You are too much. I love it. But yeah, it's the first day of fall. You know, even though I'm in LA, you know, I'm inside my apartment where it's cool. So I said, you know what? In honor of my New York City, you know, my people back home that I miss tremendously, let me wear a little bit of green today, give a little fall. But Anthony, I want to talk about ownership because, you know, I read an article in Rolling Stone that talked about you a little bit when it came to ownership. And I just want to read like the opening line. This actually just came out in Rolling Stone. I don't even know if you've had the opportunity to see this yet. Can you see this, Anthony?
Oh, yeah, I saw. They sent me a little piece of it, but I haven't read it yet.
Okay, well, let me read a little bit of it. It says, when Anthony Hamilton, let me just read the headline. Okay, the headline is basically about ownership. So it says, when Anthony Hamilton, one of the last mainstream singers working in the Southern soul tradition, releases his 8th studio album in 2021, it will mark the first time that the 49-year-old R&B veteran owns the rights to his music. We've thought about this day since 2005, says Eli Davis, Hamilton's longtime manager. You're no longer a slave to a system. Hamilton, whose Tender Tortured Back Together as a Quiet Storm remix is currently climbing at radio, it's part of a growing number of R&B acts cutting ties with major labels. After years of, I can't even, something just happened to my iPad. But basically it's just saying, you know, it's about ownership and a singer having its masters. You know, I know you spent a lot of time with the late Prince Rogers Nelson, our guy Prince, and Prince was definitely big on owning his masters. You know, what does it mean to you in this climate, you know, of just really Black creatives, you know, stepping to the helm and just owning everything that they touch creatively? You know, what does it mean to you, you know, to be in the position right now where you're going to be able to own everything that you put out?
that's freedom. That's freedom in it. That's power. That's pride. I take pride in owning my own and not having to be at the helm of somebody else's decisions. I take, there's a lot of integrity you feel when you have your own, and you have to represent it well. I learned a lot. I can't say that I regret not doing it earlier. I think now I'm more focused. I think I'm ready. So I feel grown.
You are grown,
empowered.
brother. You are grown. You are grown.
I feel business grown. And I think it's a great time to just start showing up and showing out as a CEO of my own, and show the majors that anytime you ever doubted me, whether my sales weren't where you thought they should be, or if they were more than you thought I should have sold, that I was already a boss, and you were lucky enough to have encountered me, and God did us both a favor, So I'm excited about this.
I applaud you. I
Thank you.
admire you. I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
I work independently myself. I still get it. I come from a hard news background.
Wow.
Having ownership of my voice is everything to me.
Yes. Say that again.
Having ownership of my voice is everything to me.
And it's so crazy that at some point, we don't own it. Like, even if you play some music that your voice is on, that is on social media, they could take it down at some point. And it's just crazy to me, because you didn't get the right to use your own voice because somebody else owns.
Yeah.
Hell
no. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. I know from where I sit, people often ask, oh, you know what, TANISHA, you should be on E! Or Entertainment Tonight and Access Hollywood. And well, you know what? I would never turn down an opportunity to be in those spaces, but this is where God has me for a very specific reason. This is where he wants me to be. And I'm having an amazing time. I get to interview, some of the biggest icons and thought leaders of my generation and generations before me and behind me, in a voice that is so germane to people who look like this.
Yes.
And my visibility is welcomed, in these spaces, is welcomed by an Anthony Hamilton, is welcomed when I'm on the red carpet, is welcomed when I'm at a press junket, because, people know that I'm a safe space. I'm not here to manipulate an interview. I'm not here to manipulate their voices. I'm not here to put words in their mouth. I'm not here to push a narrative that is not beneficial to my people, and so, I'm so excited to see what is going to come down the pipeline, under your new label, which is called, by the way, I made a note of it. Wait a minute, what's the name of your?
My Music Box.
My Music Box.
My Music Box.
Right, it's a partner though, right? With
BMG,
BMG.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So the album that comes out in 2021 is going to be on the Music Box.
Yeah, My Music Box, BMG. We did a partnership, and we're both excited. I think we both have a lot to offer, and we both really excited about getting the new Anthony Hamilton out there to the people.
Wow, I love the Rick James cut that you did. I love that.
Oh, appreciate it. You know what? When I created that song, that's before COVID and any of that stuff. So it was supposed to be party, outdoors, two-stepping, windows, roof down, and that's what. So that was the space I was in. So when things started to change, I started to, create the music that fit where we are. Like, there's going to be some songs that are so important for where we are, and then there's going to be some songs that take us away from that. So it's going to be a nice journey. Yeah, it's going to be really powerful. But I really love Rick James, and that song is a great song. And to have him featured on it, I fought to have him featured. I didn't want him just
what in the heck? How did you make that happen? Well, you're Anthony Hamilton. Your reputation speaks for itself.
Well, thank you. You know, and thank God I do have a decent reputation. And his estate, his daughter and his estate, they were really gracious enough to allow us to use his likeness. They were very hands-on. You're not just going to throw Rick James around because he's Rick James. And so they made sure that, you know, I told him, I said, I would never disrespect this man. I won't go into interviews talking about some of the stuff that people probably want me to speak. No, I'm not here for that. And I may do Ebony Eyes over. I love that song. Ebony Eyes.
Yeah, listen, not more than my parents love Ebony Eyes.
Yeah. Need you right now, baby.
Wow.
Him and Smokey Robinson. Come on, man.
Oh, wow.
And I bet you didn't know that Ebony Eyes. Woo! Man.
Wait, I'm looking. Do I have ebony eyes?
You have very lovely eyes. They match your dress and they give off nice light.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Ebony
welcome.
eyes. Wow, that would be amazing.
But you do have ebony eyes. My brown melanated sister.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anthony, there's so much happening, you know, in the world right now. You definitely have been using your platform to spread love, you know, to remind us of God's love. You know, the Juneteenth, I call it your at-home studio session that you did. You know, what was that like for you? And the response was just so overwhelming. It was just so positive. Like, were you reluctant at all? You know, when you said, you know what, I want to do something for Juneteenth, it's going to be live, you know, because Juneteenth is something that unfortunately, you know, mainstream people don't really know about, and you're bringing it, your platform helped to do that. You know, so was that like a last minute decision, or had it been something you had been thinking about, you know, for months, or was it something that was just born out of COVID?
I think it's been something that's been, you know, dear to me, and learning more and more about it made it even more special to do it. And I think, you know, at this time where people are paying attention and sitting still to bring awareness to something like Juneteenth, and to celebrate our people, and to just be a part of that history. And I felt like it was my duty to do that. And my team felt the same way. I think we're all in a great place right now when it comes to wanting to be pro us and all about us and loving us, and, you know, and protecting us. I think we're all kind of in that same space. And yeah, if you're gonna have, you know, to whom much is given, much is required. So I have this platform, and I've been given a lot, and I have to do my part, and you know, bring awareness to things that people may not pay attention to. But when an entertainer or someone with our platform speaks, I think people listen to it different. And so this is my job. That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm obligated to do that. And I think most entertainers have an obligation to put something out there that's gonna make a difference, whether they want to or not. I get it. Yeah. You know, it's just like, you know, I don't want to have to take care of somebody else's kids, but that's your duty, because you signed up for this international highway of lots of information, lots of sound and vibrations and stuff. And so it's your job to use it. If you could put out more positive.
It's also about being a good steward of your blessings too. You know,
that.
It really is about being a good steward, you know, working in this big entertainment space, and, you know, being around a lot of, you know, celebrities, and, you know, just getting to know some of them even personally. The burnout is real, and the abuse of the gift is real, and the abuse of, you know, everything that comes with the gift is real.
Yeah.
And if you're not a good steward, you know, woe is all I can say. Yeah. Because God doesn't give you You know, he hasn't given me the gift of oratory and storytelling and, you know, this ability to have people comfortable enough to tell me their stories and to be transparent. You know, he didn't give me that for naught. He didn't give you this voice, you know, this amazing body that all this voice comes out of, you know what I mean? That's jubilant, you know, to so many people. He didn't give you that, you know, for naught. And I think it's about collective work and responsibility, you know, for anybody with the platform. And it's not even just about entertainers anymore, because, you know, if you're a doctor or a lawyer, like everybody now is dialed into social media. Everybody wants an audience, like you were saying before. Everybody wants to be famous, you know, and so with that comes a great responsibility. And it's just great to see you, you know, just very active and taking a huge role, you know, and being responsible, being a part of the collective work and responsibility. You know, February 24th, 2016 was a big day in your career. You're listening, you're like, what happened February 24th?
I'm waiting on it.
You're like, wait, what happened February 24th? February 24th, you performed for President Barack Obama.
Oh, yeah.
And First Lady Michelle Obama. You know, let's talk about that. You're cracking up laughing over there. You're like, what is she talking about? What happened February 24th? This is Anthony Hamilton. This is your life. Anthony Hamilton, this is your life. So that was big, you know. So when you got the call, you know, that you would be performing or asked to perform, you know, I don't know how those things work. You know, I don't know if you're just told, like if it's the president of the United States, you're just told you're going to perform, or, you know, how did your PR present this to you? You know, I want to know, like, where you were and what were you doing and like what were you thinking? Because, you know, to be a part of history in that way, right? It's one thing to see Anthony Hamilton, the singer-songwriter, you know, who sold billions, you know, of albums, but to perform, you know, in front of the most effective president that this nation will ever know, and in front of his beautiful chocolate brown wife, Michelle Obama, who we love and adore and admire and respect. You got to walk me through that, Anthony. You got to take me back to that moment. I'm
going to take you back. So it started way before I got to the White House, right? Word got back to us that President Obama and First Lady Michelle were big fans, and that I was, you know, part of their playlist. But even prior to that, the first campaign that they were doing, I was chosen to be part of a fundraiser at Demi Moore's house for Michelle Obama. So I did that, and she was like, "Oh my God, we love you." She said, "I'm going to make sure that you get to the White House because your voice is so amazing, and we love it, and we listen to it." And I did another fundraiser.
That brings tears to my eyes, because when the Bible says, when God says, you know, your gifts will make room for you.
Yeah. She for whatever reason, they were connected to my music, and it did something for them. And it was a song called Float, which is a real romantic song. And you know, I did another fundraiser. It was her and Miss Laura Bush at this one in DC. So after that, I get the big call that, hey, you're going, a couple of years later, you're going to go to the White House. They want you at the White House to sing for President Obama. They're doing a tribute to Smithsonian and to Ray Charles, and they want you to be a part of that. I was like, are you kidding me? I was here at home. And I remember I was excited, and I was like, oh my God. So my oldest son, Anthony Jr. and Romero was still in college in Cal State, and Anthony was here.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh my God, I've been asked to come to the White House. I would love if you can go with me. I think that'd be great. And I didn't get the response from him that I thought, but I was over the moon. I was excited. I was like, oh my God, it felt really,
it's
surreal.
Historical.
It's historical. and I wanted him to be there. He was the oldest, and I felt like this is yours. But he was like, well, I have to work, and I was like,
oh no.
I don't think he's getting it. And I was like, I will hire you you can work for your daddy. Like, you don't, I mean, I will hire you. Take off, you know, give him your 2 weeks resignation and whatever. But I think you should go. And he was like, I think he was in a different space. And so I didn't waste any time to call my middle child. He's 23 now, Tristan. Tristan was not 3 seconds after I asked him, he was like, sure. Oh.
Wow.
And we had such a great time. We you know, we went. Actually, that was the second time I called them. The second time I sung there, we went up and we had a great time. And I was called back to go celebrate President Barack Obama's birthday. That's when I took my son, because I went twice.
He's a Leo like me. That's that Leo.
So yeah, Leos. I'm Aquarius, so you guys are.
You know what's so crazy? Your birthday is January 28th, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Mine is July 28th.
Oh wow.
That is so crazy.
I love
right?
that number though. For some reason, I just love it. Yeah, that's crazy. I love the number 28.
I'm serious about my number 28 and 8.
Me too.
And it being a 1. Yeah, you know, that's now being geeky or whatever. But I was just like, oh wow, like, you know, in my extended research, I mean, there was like what I just know off the lobe, and I'm like, you know what? Let me just go in, you know, and do due diligence for the interview. And I'm like, oh my God, he's born January 28th. Like I'm July 28th. That's just so.
Yeah. That's
so
kind of cool.
To me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So getting back, you said you performed for President Obama's birthday.
Yeah, we did. I did a duet with Shalea, who's incredible singer and pianist. We did a duet, Ray Charles song, and they were out in the audience and they were having the best time. Usher was there, Demi Lovato, Sam from Sam and Dave.
Wow.
Who else was there? There's some more amazing people there, and just to look out there and to be able to see them getting down without any hesitation, and to stand there and shake their hand, representing us well, makes us want to step up to the next level and to walk in your shadows. And I just thank God for that. It was just a beautiful time. And I even had a chance to go to Nelson Mandela's home in South Africa.
Oh my, wow.
Yeah. But he had taken sick from the time we had planned it to the time that I had made it to South Africa. He had gotten sick, so they had taken him from his home to his home where he was born. So, but I met the rest of his family. But even just to be in this man's home, like those two of some. Just two of my favorite black men, outside of James from Good Time,
James from Good Times. James from Good Times. I like James from Good Times. Oh, that's funny.
But these are two powerful, mighty.
Yeah, Nelson Mandela.
Black men.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So just to be connected. Madiba. Just to be connected to President Barack Obama and Michelle, First Lady Michelle, and Madiba. It's like God didn't make a mistake. He really wanted me to be there for a reason. And this is just setting up something for the future. And I'm grateful. And it lets me know that he trusts me in this space.
Don't you love when you get those reminders, Anthony?
Yeah.
I know I do. Sometimes I'm like, Lord, what? He's like, nah, baby, this is where I want you to be. You're right where you're supposed to be. You're right when you're supposed to be. Anthony, as someone who is a public figure, there are people who are always at you, pulling, trying to get a piece. Some of them have the best intentions for you. Some of them have zero intentions for you at all. How do you manage that? How do you keep you safe?
I lean to my values, my church values, my family values, and people that remind me of home, people that I could trust from when I was a baby. I still have those same close friends. I still have my same friends, my same cousins, and people who will tell me when you get out of line.
Gather, get yourself together, Cornelius.
Yeah, like we don't care. Yeah, like we'll bust your head open. We don't care nothing about your album. And you ain't got to never do nothing else for me. I don't care about your money, but you better get it together, pull it back. You're doing a little too much. And there's been times when I needed that. And that's just, those are the things that keep you grounded. And you look for people who resemble those, not just, in complexion, but in spirit. There are people like when somebody ain't right. And some of them can fool you for a little bit, but when you're not fooling yourself, you see directly what you need. Yeah. When you're honest with yourself, you stop making excuses for them being in your space for no reason. And then you start to clean out the people that are toxic.
It's a beautiful place to exist. It's a beautiful place.
I'm okay being, and I'm okay being by myself too.
No, you're
I'm
like
all right
me.
with it.
Yeah.
I'm a loner. I'm a loner.
Yeah.
Me
so
too.
Am I.
Yeah.
A lot
I'll
of people
laugh with me.
Yeah, they don't get that. They're very shocked. They're very shocked.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God, like you're okay. I'm like, listen.
Yeah.
I know that I'm enough.
Yeah. There it is. There it is.
I know that I'm enough. I get a kick out of me.
Yeah.
Like I get a kick out of me. I get a kick out of me. I make myself laugh. I tend to myself. I take that time for myself. It's very necessary. Again, working in these kinds of spaces where it demands so much of, who you are and what you are, that you really have to, you gotta tend to you. You know what I mean? You gotta
you have to
put your hands on yourself.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting. That's really interesting. Your fashion, you have this amazing style. You love a brim.
Go on now.
Wait a minute. I was wondering, I was thinking, I'm like, well, should I wear a hat too today? Because I can kill a brim too. I can
yeah. You got a nice shaped head for it.
Thank you. Yeah, I know you were a barber too.
An amazing barber. I went to barber styling school. Actually, I did men and women's hair. And I was in the shop
you ever shave a woman's head,
first record deal. Actually, not shave with the razor, but with clippers I have. So
with the clippers? Yeah.
But I can do it,
I remember the first time I went into a barbershop to get my hair, cut low like this. And I had a big afro. And I was coming back to TV. I knew that I wanted to come back to television. And I said, you know what? They're not ready for a fro. So I said, I'm going to relax it. So I relaxed it. And I had, my hair, my pageant hair, from college. And I'm like, but I didn't like it, and I'm an all or nothing personality type. I'm still a work in progress, but all or nothing. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to throw it out. I'm just going to shave it all off. And I went to the barber and they were like, I'm not shaving. I'm not touching that hair, TANISHA. I'm not doing it. And finally, I found a barber who had the courage to do it. I promised him that I was not going to. Daddy is in motion. Y'all see that snapback? That is a black father. Like, get it together. Get it together. But anyway, I got a barber to finally shave it. And my goal was to just have it shaved for a short amount of time just to grow back my natural curls. And it's been almost a decade,
Wow. That long?
Yeah.
Wow. It's powerful. It's nice. And when you can have that much confidence and love with yourself and in yourself, that says a lot about who you are.
Oh, and, God bless you. God bless my parents. God bless my parents.
It says a lot,
So wrapping this up, the 2020 election, I got to take a deep breath for a second just to even think about the outcome is not what we need it to be. Yeah. Right, brother?
Yeah, it's really serious.
Yeah, let's take this moment, Anthony, to galvanize your core, to galvanize your audience, the importance of voting. There are other celebrities who have an enormous platform similar to your own, and they are spewing they are spewing information that is just not beneficial right now.
Yeah,
You know,
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't want to name any names or anything.
And I'm pretty shocked at some, you know, some of these people in particular. You know, one, we need to vote. We've died. We've been assassinated, mutilated. We've been through so much. We've shed so much blood, and people who couldn't vote are depending on us to vote. It's so important to vote in this election because people like us, people like people before us died, lost their lives, were assassinated and murdered, you know, for fighting for rights to vote and just to be viewed as a person, to count, to make a difference. And it's our right to vote. For those who couldn't vote, we need to stand up and vote. We need to go to the polls. People are saying it don't matter. That's what they want you to believe. Those numbers, whether they tamper with them or not, if we go in large enough numbers, we will not be defeated, and we will have somebody who's not about evil intentions, the murdering of Black brothers and sisters, and the incarceration of many Black men who could be home with their families. We need to start voting not just for the president, but for
we gotta vote down ballot. We gotta vote down ballot.
Congress and people closer to you are the ones making those decisions, whether you go to jail for 5 years or 50 years. So we need to start learning what to vote for. Vote with information and vote with knowledge. But we need to be at those polls. If you get a minivan, get a school bus, take as many people as you can, wear your mask, go down and vote. If you're gonna vote early, but go vote. Young Black men, young Black sisters, don't fall for the hype. They want you to believe that it don't matter. It does matter. Go out. And even if you feel like it doesn't, it's your right.
Yeah.
Like, go do it. Go do it just because you weren't able to do it before.
Right. Do it for John Lewis.
Do it for John Lewis.
Yeah, do it for all those who fought, to get the Voting Rights Act passed. Yeah. Shirley Chisholm,
Shirley Chisholm.
Yeah.
Harriet Tubman.
Yeah.
Frederick
Malcolm
Douglass
X, Martin Luther King, Stokely Carmichael, Huey P. Newton.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't sit this out. You can't sit this out.
No, we can't. Right now, it's too dangerous. It's too dangerous.
It is dangerous. It is dangerous. Yeah. This has been great. Anthony Hamilton, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. This is an amazing conversation. I hope that we can do it again, as your album, drops. I don't know exactly when that's going to happen, but, please keep me in the loop. Own the show. They Call Me Dad. You guys make sure you tune into that because that is amazing. They Call Me Dad. This brother is the father of 6 sons, 3 grown men and 3 young kings emerging, 3 princes. Did I get that out right? But tune into the show. He has a YouTube channel. Go to the YouTube channel. You'll find some music that I hadn't even heard of before. I was like, oh my God. Woo!
Yeah, thank you.
Let me listen to that. The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. Anthony, thank you so much. Thank you.
I really appreciate it. You were great. You actually like amazing. Yeah.
Thank you.
I look forward to doing it again and keep that energy, keep that energy going. It's needed, and you make sisters look great.
Oh, thank you.
Wow. It's really good to see you. Oh, oh, oh.
I knew you'd never leave him. So much for giving you my heart.
Very nice.
And we promised we never grow apart. I knew you'd never leave him. So much for loving you so hard. We go through things anyway. It makes it hard for you to leave him. Why can't it all just change? Why can't we just get back together? Why can't we just all those lovely nights together? A lovely night. I thought love should last forever. Forever. Through it all. Why can't we just get back together? Yeah. No more lonely nights forever. No more lonely nights. I want a love that lasts forever. Oh, through it all. It was love from the start. So much love. You promised me you'd leave him. I know you've been loving him so long, so long, so long. And those lonely nights he made you cry. You ran straight to me, but I knew you'd never leave him. Leave him. Why can't we just get back together? All those lovely nights.
Hey, what's up, people? It's your man, your favorite DJ, and we have a new one from my man, Anthony Hamilton, featuring Rick James, Back Together. This joint is fire.